Hey guys, Coach Mitch here. Let's break down the Uniform Division Secret Service interview. First, let's talk about what it isn't. A lot of people come to me in my coaching sessions and they start to answer my questions like they're a police officer or an investigator or even Secret Service special agent. It's none of those at all. And so I make that clear within the first 10 minutes. We got to get the right mindset first, because if you're thinking UD Secret Service is about any of those three, you're thinking about the wrong way. The Uniform Division Secret Service is about the mindset. Once we get the mindset going, as far as what this job means, right? What the focus is, it's the mindset. So you're not some city officer, you're not some investigator, you're not even a Secret Service special agent. You're Uniform Division. So what do I mean by that? It's about threat prevention, right? Situational awareness, mindset at where you are at all times. Those are specialized skill sets you must bring to the interview panel, because the questions I ask you and the questions they're going to ask you are almost the same, because I'm testing just like them. Are you aware of that? I have been doing this for 7 years. I have had hundreds and hundreds of candidates go through my doors for the UDSS, and they've done quite well at a 90.4% success rate. So I want you to hear this video from start to finish so I can help you out here. A really good UDSS person candidate can express this in the interview panel about how they would understand early threat detection, right? That ties into, of course, what? Situational what? Awareness, right? Because early threat detection means you're looking around, you're aware. As we say in the military, head on a swivel, right? They use the same terminology for UD Secret Service, the same way. And they are going to test you just like me in the questions about how you do this. Another one too is, of course, maintaining control of a perimeter. Well, if you don't understand this, it's okay, I'll tell you. When you work for Uniform Division Secret Service, you're usually guarding VIPs, foreign dignitaries, and then a perimeter could mean any place where they're gathering, any place where they are. You're the person out there in plain view because of uniform, right? You're guarding them. You're making sure that they are going to be okay. You're protecting your protectees, we call them, right? You're protecting them at all costs. And so you have to display and know how to verbalize in the interview that you understand what situational awareness is, early threat detection, and then also too, I press you about what are you going to do? Okay, great, you can realize it, but now I ask you in the interview, what are you going to do about that? Panels usually want to hear something about, I'm going to maintain communication, I'm going to be vigilant, things like that. I'll show you the actuals in my coaching program, but those are the kind of answers you want to be able to respond with in a pretty timely fashion. If you're doing this number in the interview panel, oh boy, it's not going to work for you guys, because that is not what they want to hear, and it's not what they're going to see. Plus, it shows someone who's not really ready for the interview because you're taking too long. Number two, calm command presence, right? This means you have to show in their questions, because they're going to ask you questions that are going to test. I laugh sometimes because in my coaching program, I'm pretty rough on this part here, because they're going to do things to you. They're going to test your emotional maturity. The reason why they don't want to see any other officers on YouTube or some other platform doing silly things, because sometimes people get triggered, right? Even people in uniform, but they don't want their people getting triggered. So you have to have this calm command presence, right? Someone who's not going to be bothered by anything silly. They don't want to hear about, crazy things. They want you to be able to utter professional verbal commands. Yes, in my program, I push you that way because I want to see what you're going to do. I'm going to ask you questions that are going to drive out of you those kind of answers, because the job is very important. You got to think about the assets who you're guarding. You're guarding VIPs, not just domestic, but also foreign, right? So you have to be on your best awareness at all times. Number two, in that same platform, they're going to want to hear about how you can do not just escalation, no, controlled escalation, right? That is an issue they are going to hammer you with at least twice, because they're going to see, how do you escalate a situation and how are you controlling it? Composure under pressure. I have a specific question in my coaching that is definitely designed to see how you stay composed under extreme pressure, because they're going to ask you the same thing. I would much rather you fail with me in the coaching program than go down there and fail with them and just be devastated. I don't want you to go there. So my questions are designed in the same way as theirs are, because we're looking at someone who can project confidence without confrontation. That's what we're talking about, right? So we're not talking about this lowly trained law enforcement type person. If you they're talking about someone who's very professional, right? LEO for the most part are trained well, but they don't want people who are going to get through the wire, who are not ready, who burst out over any kind of emotional thing, right? Who don't have the stuff planted and professional. They don't want that, because it looks terrible for the agency. So this interview is designed to ferret out those kind of behaviors in you. Number 3, of course, is going to be team discipline. You must show these guys through their answers to their questions that you can work on a team, because this work here is not a solo mission. Sometimes I have my guys come into the coaching program and I'm getting these John Rambo type questions. I say, no, it's okay, I get it, guys. But I say, no, we're part of a team, right? We are coordinated through everybody else. We're part of a team. We do things as a team. You don't guard VIPs or international dignitaries on your own like your one-person show. No, it's a team effort for sure, okay? So in my questions, we're going to see how you communicate with other team members, right? What you make the priority, how you maintain your post responsibilities and things of that nature, because you do have a post, right? Your UD, right? SS, right? Uniform Division, Secret Service. Uniform means they see you. So you're not a special agent that's undercover, right? With plain clothes. You, though, are seen. Therefore, with that kind of pressure on you, right? And they know this. You're seeing it all the times. They want to make sure you can maintain yourself with some kind of composure. Another thing, too, is make sure I show you how to coordinate with supervisors, because you got to make sure you keep your soup in communication to what you're doing at all times. They have to know what's going on, because, again, it's part of the team. We don't want John Rambos in UDSS. It's a team effort. And that must come out in the interview process. Well, let me tell you a John Rambo answer. I would handle that individual myself. I would do this myself. Those things are going to kick you out in a minute because they don't want that. Best answer, I would notify my team, contact my supervisor, or somebody on my chain of command, and stand by for backup. That's what they want to hear. They don't want you jumping there on your own and doing things on your own. It's a team effort at all times, okay? Number 4, of course, they want to have professional judgment under pressure. Again, you cannot let people get to you. You have to maintain your composure. You gotta say, okay, no problem at all, right? But also, too, at the same time, you have to assess threats, right? Here's the deal. You got people maybe protesting in front of you, right? But you gotta be aware, beyond them, what's really going on. Are you assessing the threats out there, right? Whatever. Are you assessing the threats? Are you maintaining your composure? Are you also using situational awareness as your head on the swivel? That's what they're looking for, right? That's the kind of person they want to hear in the answer to their question in the interview process, right? At the same time, too, right? Here comes a strange dichotomy. People protesting in front of you, you gotta look around for threats as well, right? But you also gotta protect them too. And that's the dichotomy there, the duality of your job. And that's how important this is. The last thing is so important, I say it for last every time, because if you got this far in the video, good for you, because this is the most important part. Integrity and accountability. This cannot be stressed enough. They're going to ask you at least 2 questions. I do in my prep for you. How are you going to answer this certain question? And it must be laced with a lot of integrity as well. You must be prepared for these kind of questions that come at you, because they need people who are accountable. You and I both know we have people who are supposed to be role models, right? Politicians, whoever. None of them are taking accountability, and you see that all the time, every day. But you must maintain accountability, because Secret Service is a very high-level integrity type organization. They just are. The reason why you don't hear about them in the news very much. That tells you right there, wow, they're a very professional bunch. Now, the questions I ask you, the questions you're going to hear are about how you handle criticism. How do you take it? What do you do? How do you learn from it, if anything at all, right? What does criticism mean to you? And that's really important, right? How do you follow protocol? What are the steps in the protocol? The best candidates always tell me they follow chain of command. They understand protocol and policy. They understand they're on a team. So the interview panel for UD, I'll tell you this right now. They're not just testing your experience, guys. They're testing your mindset. When you're in my panel, when you're in my coaching, for you guys that know us already, I'll tell you if you haven't been through my coaching program. When you get into my coaching program, I'm asking you these questions, and then you're gonna write them down, you send them back to me. I look at them, I improve all the time. I put in certain words that should be there. I send back to you, we discuss it, of course, we figure out, okay, what's the best way to do this? And then we practice and practice and practice. Everybody in my program knows this already. Coach Mitch will make you practice a lot. So that's how it goes. You guys take care. If you want to get to coaching for UD Secret Service, please get into my coaching program through my description down there. Go to my calendar, get in there, and I will see you guys on the other side to get this to the point where you will pass the first time and keep on going on your mission, because you guys have to continue your mission. Take care. Bye-bye.